Hello everybody, this is Border Mike. I'm going to start videoing Logan today. He's on the mountain with me at Brundage. He's a fairly new boarder, and what I'm teaching today is how to teach somebody that's never boarded, maybe that girlfriend, the wife, the brother, sister, uncle, cousin, whoever. I'm going to show you 5 methods that I invented over the last 20-25 years and how I can fast track you on snowboarding. Okay, so we're back here with Logan. I'm gonna walk him through the first steps, how to make this super simple. So Logan, we start out facing uphill. We all start out on our toes. Most people start out on their heels. When you start out on your heels, you're using a ton of pressure and a ton of muscle. If you teach somebody on their toes, they're gonna learn way faster, because every time they have to get up off their knees, they're using like a third of the muscles in your body. So on Logan here, I'll show you the terrain. We're on what most of you that have followed me know that this is the bunny hill. Okay, it's a blue run. It's a blue run. You can see that it goes rather steep. But to learn how to properly snowboard using my methods, we teach people on the blues or the yellow, or the blues or the greens. So anyway, here's Logan. He's all set up. He's got everything's hooked on. He's got his toes in the mountain. We start out by putting one hand on the mountain, putting it right close to where your knees were. And you put the other hand out by your side, down by your side, however you feel comfortable. And now you take and you add pressure, just enough pressure to both heels at the same time to be able to move the board. The idea is just move the board very little, and follow it up with your hand. Every time you move the board, follow your hand up. Okay? This way it's safe. Your muscle memory will understand how to move the board and how much pressure. If the board is kicking out a little bit or going too far, then you're not doing it slow enough. Just like that. See how the board kicked out? So the idea here is move both toes so that you can make a staircase. I coined the phrase staircasing. I don't know of anybody that's done this, but I call it staircasing. I've never seen a video like this, so here's where we're at. Okay, we're back with Logan. This time Logan is going to follow up his hand like he did before, and he's getting to the point where he can add the right pressures to both toes to make the board go simultaneously and make a nice 8 or 10 inch stair step. That's why we call it staircasing. I'll show you that in a minute. So Logan's gonna put his hand out to the side, by his side, wherever the spare hand, and follow up with the one hand. He's gonna go until he doesn't have to use his hand at all. Now watch. See how he's going down the hill with no hands? Practice this method. That was perfect, Logan. Practice this method to where you don't have to bend over, you don't have to do anything. You can just not use your hand at all. And believe me, this technique is going to make a huge difference. Okay, so the reason that I call this staircasing is because as you see where Logan has come down the hill, you saw his hand there. About every step there was a hand. But do you notice how he gets further down, his hand disappears, and now he's just staircasing with no hands in the snow. I teach this so that anybody can learn this. Anybody can teach anybody they want to, and this is all muscle memory. It puts it into your mind so that your boarder's happy, they're learning something, and they're not getting hurt. Okay, boarders, the reason why we pick greens or blues to teach somebody how to snowboard, so far you're seeing that staircasing is the first aspect of 5 different methods, but you're seeing how your student is looking back behind you and they're seeing this, okay? So that's why we have them start on their toes, and that's why we do it up here, so their total focus is on what you're asking them to do and what they're working on. Their fear of the steepness of the grade that you just started teaching them on is gone. They're not even thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm on a huge hill. It's not even in their mind. that makes your student learn even that much faster. Okay, now we're back with Logan on the mountain. This time, we're gonna do a method that I call walking the mountain. Walking the mountain is designed so that you use your muscle memory to be able to walk on the mountain, left foot, right foot, both feet. And in order to do that, we'll start with one hand on the mountain. But the reason that we teach this, a lot of people think, well, this is what he teaches, but why? Why I teach this is because it's gonna make all the difference in the world once we show you how to go 2 or 3 feet to the right or left. Your toes will know where they're supposed to be. One toe will know where to put pressure. The other one will counter pressure. It's all about walking the mountain. This is something that everybody should learn. Everybody. It will take off. It'll cut down, I could be weird here, but I bet it would take away 90% of all snowboarding falls if people learned how to do this. Walking the mountain. Okay, we're back here with Logan. We take little breaks because this does get to your muscles a little bit. So Logan's on the mountain. He's going to do the same as he did with staircasing. He's going to put a hand on the mountain just right around where his knees were in the snow. And he's going to go left foot, right foot, and then both. And then he follows. You notice how he follows every time he moves, he brings his hand down with him so that his hand isn't stretched out up the mountain. Okay? This is taking the time and just moving one toe easy. You got to do, it's kind of a finesse thing. The slower you go, the easier the board works. So you notice how he went down with with both toes, 2 different pressures. He walked the board left and right, and then he went both toes to stop. Learning the both toe or both heel in the future mechanism in your brain is going to make all the difference in the world. A lot of the boarders out there, when they're learning, if they learn this technique, anybody that's been boarding, you know that when you're coming down hard and fast on a groomer and you come in to stop, a lot of times in the beginning you land on your butt, okay, because that board is choppy and it bounces. This method of walking the mountain using 2 different pressure on different feet and then double toeing it to come to a stop is going to stop all of that chatter. Okay? Go. Okay, I've got Logan here. He's going to put his hand down and he's going to do that same technique we showed you before of walking the mountain until he doesn't have to have his hand. Now, all these techniques that I teach you, they take a minute. Okay? They take a little bit of time to learn. If you end up having a runaway, if your board, when you take a step, if you took it too quick, your board, you may start taking off to the right or the left. Just drop to your knees. Drop to your knees immediately. That way there's no pain, no speed, no time to freak out. All right. Now Logan's already done his staircasing. He's done his walking the mountain with his hands. Staircasing, of course, without the hand after a little bit. Now he's going to do walking the mountain with his hand a couple of times, once, twice, 2 or 3 times, and then do it without his hand on the mountain at all and just do his walking the mountain. It takes a little bit of time. Sometimes you got to put your hand back on the mountain. Always try to do left, right, and then both and come to a stop. All right, looks good. Hey, boarders, we're up at Tamarack Mountain. I'm beautiful run. I don't even know the name of it. This is only like my 2nd or 3rd time up here. But I thought I'd show you a little video and see how slow, once you learn my method, see how slow that you come down this mountain. You literally can staircase it. You can go left. I'm going left and right. And such a slow pace. But by practicing what I teach everybody, to get this down to where you can go as fast as you want, or you can go as slow as you want, I do recommend, not when you first start maybe, but once you get boarding, I recommend the app Ski Tracks. I put that on whenever I'm up here having a day on my own, and I'm blazing pretty good, in and out of powder. Ski tracks will tell you how far you've been and what your top speed was for the day. It's kind of an amazing thing. You just have to reset it whenever you go to get to your vehicle and see your numbers, and then reset it when you go to the next time. But just kind of a little set in there promoting ski tracks. I don't know who they are, but it's just an app that I use. So talk to you later, Borders. Hey, Borders, Border Mike. I was just having some more thoughts. I'll try to pass on these thoughts as I go. When you start working with somebody, or you're working yourself and learning how to snowboard, you really need to get to the point to where you can work on your toes for a little bit, do my methods, and then use those same methods on your heels. That way you're learning toes and heels at the same time. You also want to go to the right, which is telling you that you're right foot forward, which is goofy, or left foot forward, which is regular. And that way, as you're learning, you're literally teaching yourself how to be goofy and regular at the very same time. It's killing two birds with one stone, you might say. It's an amazing, amazing technique.